I am DM Zone. This is Gamer's Oasis. Let's get into this. Okay, guys, we're doing our second downtime video. This time we're going to be tackling Stigith, Edith, and Myron. So the demi-humans and the human fighter female, the really strong one. So let's go ahead and get into what that is. If you saw my first video, that would be very helpful for you to understand what's going to happen in this next one. If you haven't seen it yet, I suggest going to go check it out. Here's the link to it right there. But let me go into it real quickly, and then we'll jump back into what this is. All right, so we're going to do two allies/rivals that are going to be pre-history, sort of like where they come from and this type of stuff. And then we're going to jump into some stuff a little bit later. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with Stigith here. We're going to do a charisma check to see where we start with this. We have two different potential allies or rivals. The first one is going to be a 17. That fails by more than 5, less than 10. So that's going to be a -2. So we're going to do a 2d6 check. And we're going to add a -1 to this, or -2 to this roll. So we have an 8, -2 is 6. We have a potentially neutral interaction, or in this case, what I changed it really to is a neutral party. So we have a neutral party. I'm going to roll to see what they may be associated with, and they're not going to be doing anything either way, but they are going to be someone that could be influenced positively or negatively in the future. So 4 and 2, so 6. So someone who is interested, because this is neutral, not believes this to be a problem or whatever, in what the party is doing. Okay, so this neutral party is watching what Stigith is doing and could become a rival or could become an ally. We don't know yet. The next one, we're going to do another charisma check. This one here is a 10. My charisma is a 9. So we failed, but not by a lot. We only failed by 1. So this is, again, less than 5. So it's going to be -1. So we have a 7. Again, it's going to be the neutral party again. We're going to do what this is. We have a 4. Okay. So this is a social. Ooh, this is a very dangerous one here. So we have someone who's potentially an informant, an assassin for good or bad, or a betrayer. Okay, so what does this mean? So if you have a person who's positively an informant, that means that they are coming to you with information that you don't even request sometimes. A rumor mill type of place, but maybe a little bit more zing to it because they are informing on it for you. If they are a rival, maybe they are telling your enemies about what you are doing. If they're an assassin, maybe they're here to say, I'm here to offer my services or protection, or I'm here to assassinate you, or in this case, they're just being neutral. Betrayer. Are they betraying you, or are they betraying someone else? Is it that they know you from Haversford because maybe you don't know that they've been there the whole time in disguise, and you go fight the big villain, and then boom, Farmer Joe, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm here to help you. Or, Farmer Joe, you poisoned me. Why did you give me poisoned eggs when I went to your house? You know, we don't know. That's going to be what the Oracle is going to tell us in the future. And if we push this guy or girl into being a non-neutral party, into a rival or into an ally. All right, so where is Stigith going to go? Is Stigith going to stay right here in Crestwood? No, Stigith's not going to stay in Crestwood. He's going to go back to Haversford. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, he's going to go back to Haversford. Let's go ahead and find out what he is doing there. So I have rolled up this chart here. Stigith is a flint napper, if I remember right. Yes, so Stigith is a flint napper. So work could be a thing he actually does. Crafting is a thing he could actually do. Doesn't really see him doing a lot with books or scrolls. I'm going to push that to carousing. I'm going to push 10 to carousing, just like normal. So we're going to have 3 in carousing because that just makes a lot of sense for him to be doing it that way. So we have a 9. So he's going to go back and do some work, which means he's going to gain some money while he is there. Now, I have a complication chart for people who go to work, because work is not always the same now that they're a hero. So in a 1 in 6 chance, he's going to have some sort of complication. So no, he does not have any complication. Everything goes fine. He gets paid to work at the at the arrow bow place. So I'm going to mark this down as 114. So we have plus 10 gold. He could have a suit of armor made. He has neutral parties there. To no one to be willing to help him necessarily. But we could go ahead and try and do that. Is he going to be looking to upgrade his gear? Yes. I'm going to assume it's going to be with plate mail, so I'm going to give it an extra positive modifier, because that just makes yes. All right. Is he going to pay to expedite? Or is he going to go for something decorative? 1, 2 decorative. 3 through 6 is going to be expedite. Or no, 5 and 6 would be expedite. 3 and 4 would be nothing. So he is going to expedite this process. So he's going to pay double the cost of plate mail to get plate mail done in half the time, which would be 5 days. So that means he's going to go work as a flint napper for a week. He's going to leave there with plate mail when he leaves, but it's going to cost him twice as much. More. It's going to cost him more. Let me get into that. I think probably 3 times as much, actually. I'll go ahead and figure that out in a minute. But for right now, we're going to get rid of this chainmail. Change that to plate mail. We're going to change his armor from CS to PS. Now, what does PS mean? PS means plate and shield, and he has that. So, very cool. Is he going to get any sort of weaponry other than the hand axe? Is he going to also go with a spear potentially? He carries a 10-foot pole, if I'm not mistaken. No, he does not. He's going to get himself a spear or a polearm. Yes, polearm 1 through 6, or 4, 5, 6. So he's going to go with a spear just like Edith. So let me go ahead and notate this down that he now has plate mail. Ooh, did he sell the chain or did he keep it maybe for a future henchman? I didn't state which I was doing. 1 through 3, he sells it. So he does sell the chainmail. He's figuring he can get that later. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this with Edith. Edith is going to go ahead and just jump right into this. First of all, we need to look at Edith's charisma. Edith Leo Frick's charisma is only a 7, so hard to roll below that. But we roll it, so we are successful. So she will get a +2 on the next roll to see if we get an ally or a rival. We have a 6 + 1 is 7, remains a neutral party. And we're going to roll 2d8. We got a 4, and we got a 7 for a total of 11. We've rolled 11 before. It will be the same. I think we did. Newcomer coming to town, potentially compete with the PC. In this case, it's not necessarily that. It is a newcomer. We did roll this one before. Okay, so we have potential competition coming to town, unknown at this point in time. Second one is going to go ahead and be an 8, which means we failed by 1, so not terribly. We get a -1 to the dice. So a 7 becomes a 6. Again, we're going to stay neutral in this. We're going to have another neutral party. This one's going to be a 2 and a 3, so a total of 5. Okay, so in this particular case, it's a neutral party, which means it could become a rival or it could become an ally. But we have an official that is watching what she is doing. If she goes the positive route, then that could be an official that becomes an ally, which could be very helpful to her. If she gets unlucky or mistreats this person, then it might become a rival. All right, so now we have that figured out. Let's go ahead and figure out what we're doing here. Is she going to go ahead and leave Crestwood, or is she going to do things in Crestwood because it is a town? She's going to leave. Is she going to go back to Haversford? No. Is she going to go to... well, let's go ahead and look at this. Is she going to go anywhere else outside of Brigton's Rest or Willowsdale? Maybe. That's very unhelpful. So let's go ahead and do this. Is Brigton's Rest or Willowsdale? Is Brigton's Rest a bigger part of her life recently than Willowsdale? That would be 4, 5, and 6. So Willowsdale will be a bigger part of her life. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go with a 1 is outside of the 2 I mentioned. 2 through 3 will be... No, 2 through 4 will be Willowsdale, and 5 and 6 will be Brigton's Rest. So it is going to be Brigton's Rest, even though there's less chance of it. So that's good. Now, what are we going to do there? Edith was a cook before she came here, so she could go work there. So work is an option. She doesn't have a craft, so if she gets craft, she's going to do Carouse. She can't do spells or anything like that, but I could see her wanting to do research. She's sort of a pragmatic type. And if she gets carousing for 10, I think we're just going to leave it as that. So we're going to have 3 options for carousing to try and build up like references and these type of things. So we have a 1. So we are going to go finally into our carousing table. Now we have to decide if we're going to go for lower, middle, or high class carousing. There is a cost difference for this. She cannot afford high class. She can afford middle, but I really just foresee her sticking it out with the low class. So she'll spend 10 gold for this week. Now you can have, I didn't get into this earlier, but you can have as many allies in a location as you have henchmen. You can have as many rivals as you roll, but you can only have as many allies. You can have as many neutral party or rivals as you roll, but you can only have as many allies as you have allowed for your henchmen. So in this situation, she has 3. She can maintain 3 allies as particular location. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what this is. So we have a 1 in 6 chance of a complication from this carousing. We do not have a complication. We'll just skip that chart. Now we're going to go ahead and go to a 2d6 chance. So we're aiming for high. So we got a 7. So a 7 is neutral. She spent a week hanging out, getting to, drinking and meeting with people. Nothing came from it. So that is what happened with her. Now let's go ahead and look into some of her finances. She has 200 gold. She does not have plate mail. Is she going to upgrade her gear? We're going to ask that very generally, but we're going to give ourselves a positive because she is a frontline fighter. Oh yes, we are definitely. Is it going to be armor? Maybe. I'm going to take that high of a yes, we're upgrading as definitely. Okay guys, this is Editor Zone. Slight little mishaps. I apparently missed when I was doing the card that I referenced that Edith already had plate mail. I didn't have to add it. If you notice in the video prior, you can back it up a little bit and see it organically. She already had plate mail. She was always wearing plate mail. She was never chainmail and shield. So she should have been way higher armor class this whole time. But whatever. It's all good. Alright, so I'm going to throw a couple other variables in there. Because I thought I was buying plate mail for her. And I wanted to go a couple directions. So, is she going to go any sort of specialty stuff? We're just going to throw some yes, no's out there. And maybe no on all of this stuff. Maybe. So, does she want to get specific? Yes, okay. Are we looking for silver? No. Are we looking for wolfbane? No. Are we looking for mirrors? No. Are we looking for climbing stuff? No. Are we looking for garlic, maybe? Maybe. Are we looking for more food, rations, water? Gear for the horse. An upgrade horse, like a medium war horse. Ah, that's what we're looking for. Alright, let's see here. We can afford a medium. Let's see if one's available. I'm going to roll a charisma check. 6, she actually makes her charisma, so yes. So she's going to go buy herself her own medium war horse and give back the riding horse back to Reinhold. Now she's going to need a saddle, probably saddlebags. Would she be interested in, instead of a horse, a cart? I'm going to make this double negative. And she'd buy like a secondary light horse or a draft horse or something and then get a cart. That's a heck no. Don't ever ask that question again. We're going to go medium war horse. A light riding horse is too small for her. That works out fine. We'll get her a saddle and some saddlebags. Cool. Is she going to change any of her weaponry too? Yes. Is she going to go with like a two-handed sword just in case? No. Okay, so we have her in plate mail. We have her in all that type of stuff. Let's go ahead and get into what we're looking for here. We have... Is she going to ask Myron for the bow? No. She's going to just get her own type of thing. Is it going to be a heavy crossbow? Maybe. Is it going to be a longbow? Yes. All right, so she does want to go longbow. All right, so now we have a longbow plus 30 arrows. Is she going to go for any sort of specialty things? She did roll pretty high and wanting to upgrade herself. No. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave that as that. Last up is going to be Myron. Myron has a 9 charisma. We're going to just jump right into it. Is Myron's first person contact. That's going to be a -1. We're going to go ahead and roll 2d6 here. See if it's a rival or an ally. So we have a 7 at -1. There's going to be a neutral party. Seem to be rolling that, fortunately, a lot. I think charisma has a lot to do with that. Yes, I know that the middle numbers are more likely to roll on 2d6. However, the charisma would be pushing you out of that. Now let's go ahead and see what we got going on. So we have 7 and 6 for a 13. This is an ambitious person. So a neutral party that is an ambitious person means that they are actively trying to do things around you and you can see it and feel it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're out to get you. All right, lastly. Here's for the charisma check. 14, this is going to be a fail. I think by 5. Yes. So we have 2d6. So we're going to be at, again, neutral party. And 7. All right, so in this case, this is someone critical of Myron that is still neutral. But we don't know what that means moving forward. All right, now we're going to go ahead and figure out what they're doing. Is Myron doing this in Crestwood? No. Is he going to go back to Haversford? No. All right, we're going to do the same thing. Is this potentially going to be outside the area? So no, it's not. So we're going to have a 1. Yes, it is. And then is this going to be more towards Willowsdale, 4, 5, or 6? So it is going to be more towards Willowsdale. And it is going to be in Willowsdale. I don't need to be doing that. I need to be rolling a 10. We're going to be doing a 5. Kind of rushing through this a little bit here. I don't think I need to change any roll. I rolled relaxation. So essentially, Myron's going to go Willowsdale and spend a week there just hanging out. Not trying to move anything, not trying to get to know people necessarily, just getting a feel for the town. Relaxing. All right, now, upgrading gear. Does Myron want to upgrade his gear? Oh, for sure. Are we going to go with armor? Most likely. No. Are we going to go with specialty gear? No. Are we going to try and upgrade the mount change to a warhorse, because this is a potential only he can do. I'm going to go with yes. All right, so he's going to enter Kiki into becoming a warhorse. This is going to take time. Is this in Willowsdale? No. So he sent his horse there, and then he borrowed essentially a horse. And the reason why he spent all of his time there is because it's going to cost him a lot of money. And basically, he's going to be flat broke. Okay, guys, so we are at the end of all 5 characters doing a little bit of downtime. We've picked up a couple medium war horses, no lances yet, no barding yet, but we did get a spear on Stigith, which is nice, and Edith now has a bow, which is nice. She now has a ranged weapon. That's very important. We have some silver and some specialty items like that between Osgar and Brith. We're probably going to go right back into the dungeon again. But I do want to see what Reinhold thinks or knows about the Cult of the Eye. So I'm going to go ahead and roll some dice real quick. Has he ever heard of the Cult of the Eye? No. So he has no information. Osgard's going to go ahead and explain what they found. Is he going to feel like there's any sort of importance to this? Yes. So Reinhold's going to dig into this more and research who the Cult of the Eye is, and maybe like some of the motivations and whatnot. He wasn't able to find anything on the wizard, but he will keep an eye out. But we'll just have to go from there and see what happens. All right, guys. So I really want to know what you guys think. It really helps the algorithm if you guys post down below and are talking with me and this type of stuff. So if you have any questions, concerns, or you like what you're seeing, go ahead and say something down below and I'll respond to you guys. But yeah, hit the bell for following along and this type of stuff. If you want to get notifications, make sure you hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you might as well subscribe. You're this far into the video. You must love it. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys like it. See you guys in the next video and keep rolling those dice. Bye.